If you're just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? Happy Tuesday. You know, we usually do a show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but this situation here has been bothering me all night, man. I can't lie. It's more than just about the game of football, man. It's about, you know, the lives that are put on the line every night for the entertainment of the public. You know, and it's not, you know, I don't diss any football fans or football in general because I love it. You know, shout out to my Vikings, man. But when you hear players say that they put their life on the line every night, please understand that that's not an understatement. That is a fact. And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that Skip shit. Skip wasn't wrong in his tweet. It came out wrong, and people read it wrong. And there definitely should have been more. He definitely should have worded it differently. But at the same time, he wasn't wrong. And I think people just hate Skip. So when they first read it, they just kind of took it a certain way. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Skip, I don't like Skip. I don't. But the tweet that he put up was something that had to do with more of how the NFL moves, because we all know that if this man got just a concussion, or if he was knocked out cold, or if his fucking bone came flying out of his leg, they would send him on a stretcher and continue that game. Now, I will tell you where he was wrong at, but this isn't trying to be surrounded around Skip. All right, Damar Hamlin is a topic of discussion. Skip is just a testicle hanging from the meat of the NFL. You know, when it comes to his commentary, what he has to say, and the weight of what he has to say. But Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills was injured, or not even injured. He he went into cardiac arrest after he went for a tackle on T. Higgins from the Bengals. And you could see, I'm not going to play the video, but you could see after he made the tackle, he stood up and immediately right after collapsed to the ground. It took paramedics, I believe, 9 minutes to try to do CPR on him, to which they were unsuccessful. They had to bring him to the nearest hospital, where they had to put a breathing tube down his throat to help him breathe, and basically announced that he went through cardiac arrest. Right now, as far as the most updated news that we have, they said that they have gotten him stable enough. He's still in critical condition, but he's stable enough to, I guess, for them to, try to help monitor his situation and try to help him in that in this instance. The family, and I want to play that first. The family of Damar Hamlin released a statement. They said, on behalf of our family, we want to express our sincere gratitude for the love and support shown to Damar during this challenging time. We are deeply moved by the prayers, kind words, and donations from fans around the country. Which also, side note, he was doing a Christmas charity drive, toy drive, and the goal was $2,500. After what happened to him, they surpassed $1 million for his charity, which is an incredible thing. So to those people who donated and were able to get that to where it needed to be and surpass well beyond what the goal was, God bless you guys and thank you guys, because not only was that a special moment, but you're really about to do something really great for, families all across the country now. They also said, we also want to acknowledge the dedicated first responders and healthcare professionals at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center who have provided exceptional care to Damar. We feel so blessed to be a part of the Buffalo Bills organization and to have their support. We also want to thank Coach Taylor and the Bengals for everything they've done. Your generosity and compassion mean the world to us. Please keep Damar in your prayers. We will release updates as soon as we have them. Thank you, the Hamlin family. So yeah, there's their statement about what happened and the current state of what's going on. They didn't actually put Damar's current state of how he is right now, but we're going to continue to pray for that young man and hope that he pushes through this, because this is just another instance of how, dangerous this sport is and how much these guys really put their bodies on the line and sacrifice their lives every night just to, reach a certain goal and to entertain people, either in the stands or behind the television. In these moments, like I said before, a lot of the reason why Skip tweeted what he tweeted was because of how the NFL really treats the NFL and how they treat the players. Like I said, a lot of the times these guys can get injured gravely and they'll get taken out on the stretcher or brought to the sideline, put in the tent, and the game will continue on going. It took somebody literally, technically dead on the field for them to say, and not even the NFL. Roger Goodell, he didn't stop this game. The players and the coaches did. That's what's crazy to me. And that is a testament to how the NFL really, and how they really feel and their care level for the players who generate the money that comes through this motherfucker. Like, these players really do put their lives on the line. And I know it's been conversation, I've been talking to my guy about this. There's been conversation between players about sticking together and really having the power to make things shake themselves instead of, being so pushed back by the fact that they need the money or they need the, notoriety or whatever the case may be. You know how these games work and how these contracts work. because of the game stopping, a lot of players didn't get a full game check. And I know that sounds crazy, but you got to understand this is another reason why I just said something can happen to a player on the field and they just keep the game going, because that money is more incentive. There's guys on the field. My homeboy said there's guys on the field that may not have a chance to get on the field during that game, but because somebody got hurt, now they got a chance to get out there. Now they have a chance to make something of themselves. They need a chance to get out there and prove them. They're on the biggest stage. They're in the professional setting. They want to be able to prove themselves. It's so much that goes into this shit that people really don't even think about. And beyond all is, to me personally, the safety of the players, the people that make all of this happen. Now when this took place, Skip tweeted that now this is what I want to give context to, because people only saw one tweet. Before that tweet that he put up about the game not ending, these were the two tweets he had right before that. He said, "Not exactly sure what happened to Damar Hamlin. Players on both teams are shaken. Ambulance out on the field. CPR administered. Can't remember play being stopped for this length of time. Just said a prayer for him and his family." That was the first tweet he put out. The second one he put out was, "I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet never have I seen a reaction like this. In every other situation I witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, that's football for these players. This was different." Now, if you saw these tweets before you saw the next one, maybe you would feel different about what he had to say. Now, the tweet that went viral that got everybody on Skip's head, which Twitter added views to tweets for some reason. Now you can see how many views a tweet has, which his has 128 million. Holy shit. The tweet that got Skip in hot water was, "No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems irrelevant." So irrelevant. Now, trust me, when I first saw this tweet, I was like, this dickhead ass old ball sack skin having, I was very, very irritated. Very irritated. And then actually reading it and trying to catch context of it and what he actually meant, because I know Skip is very aggravating. But when you break this tweet down into what I believe he was trying to say, it doesn't seem as bad as what everybody's making it. Now, wrong timing. Wrong time. First of all, he should have shut the fuck up, or he should have worded this differently. But I don't think his intention was to say that what happened to Damar was irrelevant, because the tweets before that show his concern for what happened. But like I said, the mentality of the NFL, which is another thing he put in that tweet, or the previous tweet, the mentality of the NFL is, player gets injured, this is football, whatever, we move on. And as fans, we do exactly the same thing. Somebody gets injured, do we turn off the game? Do we say we're done watching this? Was it too horrific for us not to go on to watch the game? No, you continue to watch and you cheer on your squad. That has been the normal thing surrounded in this NFL culture. It happens, but in this instance, I just think it was the timing of it. And please believe me, I don't put it past anybody, because Skip gets paid through these tweets as well. If you don't know, his social media presence gets him paid. So I'm not saying that Skip actually gave a fuck. I'm just saying, giving the context and what they were doing, or what his tweets were actually leading up to this one, I don't take it as malicious as everybody else did. But I will say, you can't tell everybody how to react to something. And I don't, and me having my own personal view of how that tweet went isn't a reflection of how I feel about somebody who is currently not fucking with Skip because of it. Because like I said, he should have just shut the fuck up. And I also understand Shannon's option to not go on Undisputed today, because Shannon was gone from today's episode. And as a former NFL player, I 100% do not blame Shannon for doing that. Now, Jason Whitlock went out here to try to say that he was being performative or he was being that, but of course you'll hear that from a guy who is extremely overweight, cannot play a lick of football, never could have. Any sport that he's ever played in his life, he was well under mediocre. So he wouldn't understand the mentality of a former NFL player, Hall of Famer, who wouldn't want to show up to work to sit across another motherfucker just like Jason Whitlock, who has never played the game to the magnitude of these guys, sit up there and try to talk to him or try to over-explain to him their intentions, because it's not the same. So I don't blame Shannon Sharpe for not showing up. Now, Skip, here's the thing. Skip went on Undisputed today and gave a Oscar-worthy performance, acting like he was holding back tears about this whole situation, acting like he was shook up about it. Listen to what he had to say.
Allow me to say up front that I apologize for what we're going to set out to do here today if it offends anyone, because we're going to try to do the show pretty much as we usually do the show. But I'll admit up front, I'm still shook up by what happened last night to Damar Hamlin. In fact, I'm still wrecked. In fact, I'm not sure I'm capable of doing this show today.
This nigga lying.
But after barely sleeping on it,
he slept like a baby.
I decided to give it a try. Maybe I'll...
Oh, wow. Black Man America said the people donated over $3 million to D. Hamlin's GoFundMe. Put an applause in the chat for that, man. Put some applause in the chat for that, man. God bless those people, man. And God bless those kids who are about to be extremely blessed over the things that people have done for them, especially in the beginning of the year, man. It's always some tragedy going on. It's like this is like a new thing now. It's a new trend now for some reason, even though I know it's not new. It's just we have social media, so we see it all. But it's like the first week of January, bro, always is like the most fucked up shit happens in the first week of the new year. So it's just it feels good to me to see people being selfless and doing something other than being worried about themselves in an instance that they could do something special for other people who are misfortunate.
I'll fail. Maybe we will fail, but we're going to try. We wrestled through much of the night whether to even do a show today, because it felt like in our minds we almost can't win with this, because the last thing we want to try to do is come off as insensitive to what this young man is going through in a life or death situation. The last thing we want to do is offend anyone by trying to do what we always do, which is talk about sports. As this show goes on, we're going to try to talk about a little bit of sports, but we're going to continue to talk about what happened to this young man last night and try to sort back through it with help from you and the audience. And
then he went on to talk about tweets and getting people's tweet. This is another thing that I hate too. Like, a whole nother reason why I can never pay attention to any of this wild corporate shit, because like, tweets, bro. Tweet us how you feel about this situation and we're gonna post it on the show. Like, what? Like, imagine the meeting beforehand. Like, there was a pre-production meeting, like what they're gonna talk about, what they're gonna say. Somebody was like, oh, we're gonna have to get the tweets ready, man, and make sure they tag Undisputed and hashtag prayers for Damar. Like, these performative ass people. It's crazy. All this tragedy going on in front of us, man. Another thing I want to make sure I get off my chest is because we are hearing the conspiracies fly already. I mean, we already know football is a dangerous sport. We all know that people have had life-threatening injuries. People have gone through so much shit in this NFL game. But one thing that has now become an easy scapegoat to why somebody may have collapsed, had cardiac arrest, people are blaming the vaccine. Now, I'm not here to be on either side, because I didn't take that shit. But I'm also not somebody who is going to look at somebody crazy for taking it, because just like some point in life, we done taken a flu shot, we done taken whatever shots as a kid. Like, I'm not that person to try to hop on the train of public outrage, because most of it's fake anyways. But to kind of put that into an agenda thing and be like, yeah, this had to do with that, or it must have had to do with that, that's just as insensitive as a fucking Skip Bayless tweet talking about not stopping the game. Like, your own agenda is blocking you from seeing what's right in front of you sometimes. Now, trust me, I know that there has been some things that have happened due to people taking it. There's been some wild reactions, and I'm not going to say, because I know YouTube is crazy with this and they monitor it. They probably listen to it real closely now that I said vaccine, but trust me, I don't put it past me at all. I'm not on either fence. I'm just looking at the world for what it is. Now, T. Higgins put out a statement on his Twitter page. He was the player who collided with Damar Hamlin. He tweeted, "My prayers and thoughts go out to Hamlin Island." Damar Hamlin, that's his tag on Twitter. The Hamlin family. I'm praying that you pull through. I'm praying that you pull through, bro. Love. Apparently people were blaming him for what happened, and honestly, I think just fake outrage is what gets people to say stupid shit on the internet. We all know that football is football, and people are gonna get hit, and it's never a thing where somebody's trying to intentionally like hurt somebody, gravely hurt somebody, or try to kill somebody. That's a horrific thing to have to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can only imagine Higgins being in a situation, in a state of mind of feeling like he just ended somebody's life, or being a part of somebody's life ending. You know, especially when you're not that type of person. So I want to, send out, positive energy and strength to him as well. He's probably dealing with a lot after this happened. The players, man, that's one thing that's not going to get out of my head is like seeing the reactions from the players and how distraught they were and feeling defeated, not because they are losing a key component to their team, but because this happened in front of this is real life. This is something that was unexpected. This is tragic. And they can only hope that he pulls through. Imagine sitting there on that field and looking at your teammate try to get resuscitated for 9 minutes and he's motionless. What do? You got to send love and healing energy to everybody, man. And I'm praying for Damar's recovery. Now, Stephen A. Smith has some things to say. Listen to what he had to say about the Damar situation.
This is not about a debate. This is about humanity. This is about the life of a young man and hoping and praying that he recovers and comes back healthy. We don't care about football right now. We care about him. My heart goes out to his mother because as parents, you quickly learn that real quick, no matter what love you thought you had for another human being, there's nothing compared to the love that you have for a child. Parents understand that. Everybody understands that. And so to imagine his mother having to run down and to jump into that ambulance, wondering whether or not her son was going to make it. Because remember, we're watching on television and we're reacting to what we see the players acting like. We see Stephon Diggs crying. We see other players crying. We see the doctors coming out. We hear about the defibrillator being used, shocking him back because essentially, ladies and gentlemen, had they not been there, he would be gone. That's the reality of the situation. That's how serious what transpired last night is and still is. So we pray for him and we wish him nothing but the best, and we're hoping and praying that he has a full recovery. To extend beyond that, because I've watched the coverage all morning. I've watched Get Up with Greeny and the crew doing a fabulous job. Both of you on there doing a fabulous job. What Dominique Foxworth said resonated with me profoundly. What RC Ryan Clark said last night with Scott Van Pelt resonated very, very profoundly, because they're speaking about the humanity of football players and how far more often than not that is not paid attention to. Let me speak on behalf of most decent, God-fearing American citizens. Football players, I want to say this to the athletes in the National Football League. Part of the reason that happens is because you're so phenomenal. You're so great at what you do. You're so far above what the average person could ever imagine being able to put themselves through, to endure, that sometimes your greatness, your Iron Man tendencies, the duress, the stress, the friction, and everything else that comes with it that you put yourself through, we could never imagine not putting ourselves through. We know there's no way on earth that we would ever subject ourselves to that because we're not capable of doing it. So as a professional
crazy
athlete,
snowstorm
when
outside
you're
right now.
capable of doing it, it's hard to imagine ever seeing you in a position that we see Hamlin in right now. We can't imagine it. We look at these athletes and we marvel at the greatness, not of just of your skill set, your conditioning, the manner in which you take care of your body. You look at guys run routes. You look at guys run up and down the field and you're like, hell, I can't do that. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't even getting into the hits. You ain't even getting into the violence. Just the athleticism, the conditioning, the shape that you've got to be in and do all the things that you can do. Sometimes that lends itself towards folks taking for granted your greatness. So in Dominique Foxworth's case, he's absolutely right. There are some people that need to care more, that need to heighten their level of sensitivity, that need to recognize the fact that, excuse me, there's more to this than that. You got a collective bargaining situation going on when guys are negotiating and fighting for health care. It shouldn't be a fight. You look at what's going on the field. You look at what athletes subject themselves to every single week, and you're like, what's the fight about? Excuse me, they're putting their lives on the line. And last night we witnessed it in real time. So we take all of that into consideration. And Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, who you all have heard of, who's my buddy, he always talks to me about the difference between fast mortality and slow mortality. Fast mortality is last night. Slow mortality, CTE, and various other situations that come about and how you as a professional athlete have to deal with it. We all have to deal with it, but you're confronted by it in a far more volatile way than everybody else. And so I think on a day like today, a morning like today, when we sit there and we see Ryan Clark having to fight back tears, and we see the passion from the both of you, and we see Dominique Foxworth articulating and elocuting the positions of athletes, professional athletes, in a way that very, very few can. The fact of the matter is, I just want to take a moment to remind y'all that people sometimes are misinformed, they misconstrue certain things, but it's not always because of insensitivity. It's not always because they don't care. It's because they marvel at the greatness of you. And sometimes situations like this remind us all of a humanity we take for granted when it comes to y'all, but it's because of your greatness. It's because of what you bring to the table. It's because you can do so many things that most of us on this planet could never dream of doing, that people do that sometimes.
Now, a lot of the times, man, I do not mess with Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is one of those people that get under my skin, so I don't like to pay attention to him a lot. But I am not a hater. And when you're right, you're right. When you make sense, you make sense. And I will be somebody who concedes to that, regardless if I like you or not. When you're right, you're right. And that statement right there, I think the reason I wanted to play that was because it's more profound than you think. And it goes back to what I was saying. And it also goes back to the Skip tweet. I'm not saying that Skip cared so much or he was so distraught by what happened last night. But I'm also not saying that his tweet was in a malicious way where he didn't care about what happened. I think we all were in real time watching what was happening and making statements about what was happening. Jason Whitlock was one of the people that came out, and he's one of those people that I genuinely think he likes to ride the hate train. So like if somebody's getting hate from somewhere, he likes to join in on it so that he can get some type of notoriety off of it, or he can start trending or something, because it's something about trending that these people love, and they will go out of their way to try to trend for saying some wild shit or to say some disrespectful shit and then try to chalk it up to, oh, that's just who I am. No, snacks is who you are. Cheeseburgers is who you are. Mozzarella sticks is who you are. A double pepperoni and sausage pizza is what you are, Jason Whitlock. You're not the person you are trying to perceive to the public. This man tried to find something wrong with what former NFL, I forgot his name, man. I forgot what former NFL player said who was on the, who had something to say about, Damar's situation last night. He found something wrong to say about what he had to say. There was nothing wrong with what he said, but somehow Jason Whitlock tried to find a way to, and it's like, it's more than just that. I think people just are here to antagonize people. I think people are getting paid to be a distraction and to be a disruptor in the ecosystem. A buffet instigator. What they say, he said, they said the only team Jason Whitlock played for was the California Rolls. The only team you played for was the Detroit Deep Dishes, nigga. Lord Jesus. God bless that big nigga. He said Terrell Owens. What happened with Terrell Owens? All in all, though, man, because I wasn't gonna stay here long. I just really wanted to talk about the situation because it actually made me feel some type of way. I don't know about the other people who have jobs in this aspect to talk about these things, but it was weird to see, man. It was very scary to see. Just to watch somebody drop like that and to think that is something that can very much so happen to all of us. You know what I mean? Somebody explained it, actually. Somebody was trying to explain what could have possibly happened. They said you get hit in a certain spot around your chest, or I think somewhere in that area. You get hit in a specific spot, it can literally jolt, like it can literally cause a cardiac arrest if you hit it hard enough and in that spot. And it's like, you know, that's why I even brought up the whole vaccine thing earlier, because it's like, yo, y'all don't understand. Our bodies are so weird. Like, they're so structured in such a unique way that different things can happen and totally throw your body into a spiral. You don't even know what the fuck happened. You can be the most fit person in the world. Somebody like Damar. Imagine being so fit and so healthy and in a professional sport, and just like that, literally just like that. So prayers to him, man. Prayers to his family. Prayers to everybody who partook in that game. The NFL, they postponed that game. I don't know for when, but they need to revise certain things about the league. There shouldn't be a discussion or be any type of hanging on whether or not to continue a game after something like that happens. I understand somebody fucking sprains or twists their ankle, break a finger or some shit. All right, then that's when you can chalk it up to, all right, this is football. This is what comes with it. We move forward. But when instances happen where people get hit too hard, where people go unconscious, where people seize up, when people are literally on the field lifeless for 9 minutes getting CPR, it should be no doubt in their mind, okay, it's a wrap. We're done. We're done here. Game over. Show us that you actually give a fuck about the people that help push this league forward, who help you continue to keep millions in your pocket. Show us you actually give a damn about those guys. That's what I want to see. GMS fam, the green room. You know what time it is. Let me get y'all to do me a favor, man. If you enjoyed today's show, short live show, put a GMS in the chat. Do me a big favor, man. We want to try to improve this channel, improve this show. So I'm going to need y'all support, man. Follow me on my socials. I'll follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App today if you are feeling generous. I will most appreciate it. You will be directly helping the GMS show and helping improve this entity over here. So as you see, the Cash App name is right below. I would most appreciate you. Hit that like button, man, if you enjoyed today's show as well. I want to see y'all in the comment section of the video when the live is over. Gabriel Proctor, what's going on? He said, this is why I don't understand that dumb TikTok dead challenge. People need to be sensitive to death, not look forward to seeing it. We've become so desensitized to death. That's the problem. We are so desensitized because we see trauma on a daily basis. You open up the internet, check out a trending topic, there's going to be something traumatic linked to it. So we're so desensitized as a society because we literally ingest trauma for breakfast. That is like the first thing people see before they even eat, before they wash their face and brush their teeth or wash their ass, is some trauma, whether it be anything. So we got to make sure that we get back to having some type of level of compassion, get back to being human again. That trend on TikTok started because, for one, this new generation, a lot of idiotic kids. And two, we just don't view death the same. People can go on the internet and watch somebody get their life taken. It's for some reason, World Star Hip Hop still displays videos of people getting killed. You know what's hilarious? Not hilarious, but it's hilarious to think about, like, the joke that World Star Hip Hop is as an entity. They will literally show you somebody getting their head blown off, but blur out titties and ass on their platform. Think about that. They can't show you nice, big old voluptuous boobs. Maybe even a little bit of the coochie. They don't even show you a little bit of the coochie. They don't even show you that. But they will show you somebody getting the life taken from them viciously. There's a disconnect, and we got to get back to it. But like I said, once again, let me reiterate, hit that like button on the way out. Follow me on my socials. I'll follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App. You feeling generous? Leave a comment on this video when the live is over. I will most appreciate it. Thank you, GMS fam. Sending prayers, sending condolences, and healing energy to Damar Hamlin, to the Buffalo Bills, to the Bengals, to Damar's family, his loved ones, and also all of y'all, because y'all deserve it as well. Whatever y'all going through in life, if y'all dealing with something personally, y'all dealing with a death, y'all dealing with anything, any hardships, man, I'm sending love and light and positive energy to all of y'all. Have a blessed week. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow and Friday. Shout out to my 3Gs family. Free my nigga Pac G. GMS fam, the Green Room, we out.